Welcome to Maha Shivarathri cultural program. We, students of Sri Rama class, will be presenting the stories of the Jyotirlingas in India. Please sit back and enjoy.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Hari Om Guruji, happy Maha Shivarathri to you.
Hari Om children, happy Maha Shivarathri to you too. May Lord Shiva shower his blessings on all of you. What an auspicious occasion for all of us to gather here at Chinmaya Mission.
Guruji, we learned about the symbolism of Lord Shiva last year. We heard so many stories about him and his family, Parvati, Sati, Ganesha, and Kartikeya. We now know he is compassionate, gracious, and the greatest giver. Could you share something new about Lord Shiva today?
Certainly, children. Worshipping and hearing stories of the Lord of Lords will keep one's mind calm, balanced, and away from sorrows. Today I will tell you about 12 Jyotirlingams in India. Relax and listen to the beautiful Dwadash Jyotirling Stotram and the stories behind them.
Hari Om. Once there was an argument between Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu about who is superior between them. Brahma said, "I'm superior because I created you." Vishnu said, "You cannot live without me sustaining you, which makes me superior." After much argument, they went to Lord Shiva to seek his opinion. To solve this dispute, Lord Shiva created a pillar of light and said, "Whoever can find the end of this light, he will be superior." Both of them moved in opposite directions to find the end of the pillar. The two of them kept searching for thousands of years and still cannot find the end of the pillar, as light has no limit. Lord Vishnu finally returned and admitted his defeat, whereas Lord Brahma lied that he had found one end of the pillar. Lord Shiva was not happy with Lord Brahma's lying, so he punished Brahma by not having any temple dedicated to his worship on earth. Hari Om.
Saurashtra-deshe vishadetiramye Jyotirmayam Chandrakalapatamsam Bhakta Pradhanaya Kripavattirnam Tam Somanatham Sharanam Prapadye Tam Somanatham Sharanam Prapadye.
Hari Om. Somanath located in the southwestern region of Gujarat. It is named after the moon. In Sanskrit, it is Soma. Hence the name is Somanath. The tale of Somanath Swami Jyotirlinga starts like this. Moon had many wives, which were daughters of Prajapati Daksha. Moon was very fond of one of their daughters, called Rohini. Moon used to spend the most of the time with her, that the other wives were neglected. They complained about this to their father. The father tried to warn Moon to reform his ways and get all wives in equal attention, but Moon neglected. That made Daksha so angry that he cursed them. Because of that, Moon lost his luster. Along by the curse of Daksha, Moon worshipped Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva blessed them and took away his curse. Moon got his charm back. As a token of gratitude, Moon built a temple for Lord Shiva. That temple is situated in the backdrop of the Arabian Sea.
Shri Shaila Shringe
Mallikarjuna temple is located near the bank of the Krishna River in Sri Sailam, Andhra Pradesh. It is believed that there came a time when Lord Shiva and Parvati were thinking about their son's marriage. The two were Ganesha and Kartikeya. Ganesha and Kartikeya both caught up into a disagreement about who should get married first. To settle this argument, Shiva came up with the idea that whoever can complete a round of the world gets married first. On this hearing, Kartikeya quickly set off to complete his round, while Ganesha, with smart thinking, took 7 rounds around his parents. It is mentioned in the Shastras that going around one parent in Pradakshina is equal to going across the world. Lord Shiva was very impressed with Ganesha's quick thinking, and he got him married to Buddhi, intellect, Siddhi, spiritual power, and Riddhi, prosperity. All 3 of them are great virtues. In sadness, Kartikeya left home and went to the hills of Sri Sailam. His parents went to plead him to come back. However, they were unsuccessful because Kartikeya went even further south to the Nilgiri hills. It is said that Lord Shiva stayed back in the form of his Jyotirlinga and became known as the Mallikarjuna.
Avantikayam vihitavataram mukti pradanaya cha sajjananam akala mrityoh parirakshanatham vande mahakala mahasuresam vande mahakala mahasuresam.
The Mahakaleshwar Jyotirlinga is located in Ujjain, Madhya Pradesh. It is believed that who visit this temple never have to face any sorrows. The legend of Mahakaleshwar Jyotirlinga starts with a story that there was a boy named Sikar who was Chandrasena, king of Ujjain, worshipping Lord Shiva all day. The boy saw his devotion and decided to worship Lord Shiva. He took a stone and started worshipping it by considering it a linga. People thought that this was a game that the small boy was playing. As his devotion increased every day, Lord Shiva assumed Jyotirlinga form and resided in the Mahakal forest. It is also believed that there was a demon, Dusana, who attacked all the residents of Avanti. Seeing all this, Lord Shiva appeared from the ground and defeated the demon. Then all the inhabitants of Avanti requested Lord Shiva to stay there. Upon the request of the people, Lord Shiva took permanent abode as Mahakaleshwar Jyotirlinga.
Narmadayo pavitre samagame sa janataranaya sadevamanda tripure vasantam omkaramisham shivamekamide omkaramisham shivamekamide.
Omkareshwara is one of the 12 Jyotirlingas. All of the Jyotirlingas are dedicated to Lord Shiva. Omkareshwara is located in Madhya Pradesh on an island named Mandata. Also, the Narmada River is flowing beside it. The story behind Omkareshwara is that Vindhya Parvat, the mountain, did penance to Lord Shiva for a boon to become larger. After many years of penance, Lord Shiva appeared. And then Lord Shiva granted the boon with one condition. Vindhya Parvat could not grow too big and harm the pilgrims. At first, Vindhya Parvat followed the condition, but then Vindhya Parvat got greedy and then he grew way too big. After that, the pilgrims went to sage Agastya to seek for help. The pilgrims said, "We need your help. Vindhya Parvat is too massive." And then sage Agastya came to Vindhya Parvat and ordered him to not grow until he comes back there with his wife. The sage never came back there with his wife, so Vindhya Parvat stopped growing.
पूर्वोत्तरे प्रज्वलिका निधाने सदा वसन्तं गिरिजा समेतं सुरासुराराधृतपादपद्मं श्रीवेद्यनाथं तमहं नमामि श्रीवेद्यनाथं तमहं नमामि.
The Badrinath temple is located in Jharkhand. Your wishes are fulfilled over there. Since your wishes are fulfilled over there, they also call it the Kamnalinga, the legends behind Shiva's Stapana. Ravana, the king of Lanka, is a great devotee of Lord Shiva. He thought that if Shiva is in his side, none of his enemies would be able to touch him. So Ravana was doing a penance. He was offering his heads to Lord Shiva. Before he offered his 10th head, Lord Shiva himself appeared in Ravana. Lord Shiva said to take the Shivalinga to Lanka, but without putting it on the ground on the way. After Ravana heard that, Ravana started to walk to Lanka. He reached a mountain. He knew it was time for his evening prayers. So he was trying to find for someone to hold the Shivalinga so he can do his evening prayers. He found Ganesha disguised as a shepherd, and Ravana didn't know it was Ganesha. So he gave it to Ganesha and said, "Do not put it in the ground while I'm doing my evening prayers." Ganesha tried warning Ravana that if he comes late, I would put it in the ground to Ravana. Ravana didn't listen to Ganesha. He went to do his evening prayers. When he came back, he saw that the Shivalinga was on the ground. He tried to pull it out, but it wouldn't budge to come. All the gods were happy. That is how the Badrinath temple was created.
Hi, I'm going to be telling you about Jyotirlinga Bhimashankar. Bhimashankar Jyotirlinga is located in Pune, Maharashtra. The legend of Bhimashankar starts with this story. Bhima was the son of Kumkarna and the brother of Ravana. When Bhima found out from his mom that Lord Rama killed his father, he got furious and pledged to take revenge. He did severe penance to please Lord Brahma. He asked to be a very powerful demon, and over a period of time, he became arrogant and started asking people to worship him. Gamrupeshwar, a resident of that town, was a true devotee to Lord Shiva. Bhima ordered Gamrupeshwar to stop worshipping Shiva and worship him instead. Gamrupeshwar said no and started performing Abhishekam in the Shivalinga. Bhima picked up his sword and started to strike Gamarupeshwar. Just then, Lord Shiva appeared in front of him and defeated Bhima. All the gods who were watching over the fight persuaded Shiva to reside there, and so he did in the form of Bhima Shankar Jyotirlinga.
Shratamraparne jalarashi yoge nebadyase tam vishikaira sankyai Shri Ramachandre nasamarpitam tam Rameshwarakyam niyatam namami Rameshwarakyam niyatam namami.
Hariom. Rameshwaram Temple is located on a small island named Rameshwaram in Tamil Nadu. It is believed that the Shivalinga placed here was installed by Lord Rama. He did so before leaving for Ravana's kingdom to rescue his wife Goddess Sita. Lord Rama was drinking water in the seashore when he heard a voice say, "You are drinking water before worshipping me?" He stopped and attempted to make a Shivalinga. This made Lord Shiva happy, and he bestowed the power to defeat Ravana. Lord Rama insisted Lord Shiva make this place his abode. Shiva accepted and manifested himself in the form of Jyotirlinga. This is the place Sri Rama returned to and performed the atonement rites for having killed Ravana on the advice of a sage.
Yame sadange nagare tiramye vibhushitangam vividaischa bhogaihi sadbhakti mukti pradamishamekam Srinaganatam sharanam prapadye Srinaganatam sharanam prapadye.
Nageshwara Temple is located on the coast of Saurashtra in Gujarat. Legend said that a man named Supriya lived in a forest and was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. In that forest also lived a demon called Dakara, who would always try to disturb Supriya while he was meditating. One day, Supriya was on a business trip, and Dakara found an opportunity to attack him, so he did. He captured and imprisoned all the other passengers, including Supriya. In his jail cell, Supriya was not mad or anything. He just decided to sit there and meditate happily. One day, Dakara came to Supriya's cell, hoping he will be miserable and will beg for his forgiveness. Instead, Supriya was just meditating in happiness. Dakara got very angry. He ordered his slaves to kill Supriya. Supriya did not fear the demon and just decided to keep meditating. Shiva was pleased with the meditation of Supriya and came in a form of Nageshwara, also known as body full of serpents, and gave him a weapon called Pasupata Astra. He killed the demon and his slaves with the weapon and went to Shivdham. Then a Jyotirlinga was established there where the demon was killed, and the place was named Nageshwara.
Sanandamanandavane vasantam anandagandam hatapapa-vrindam Varanasinathmanathanadam Shri Vishwanatham sharanam prapadye Shri Vishwanatham sharanam prapadye.
Hariam. I'm going to talk about Vishwanath, the Jyotirling in ancient and most holy city of Kashi. Long time ago, Lord Shiva's mother-in-law was worried that Lord Shiva wouldn't have a house for Goddess Parvati. Lord Shiva wanted to please his mother-in-law, so he approached the demon Nikumba and asked him to make a house suitable for his family. Once the house was finished, it looked beautiful. Goddess Parvati loved it. She was always in a happy mood, and so much so that she offered food to everyone every day, and that is the reason we call Goddess Parvati Annapurna.
Shivarathri Shirshe Vimale Vasantam Godavari Tirapavi Tadeshe Yadarshinathvatakamashinasham Prayatitam Sham Vakavishamide Prayatitam Sham Vakavishamide.
Hari Om. The Triambakeshwar temple is at the foot of Brahmagri Hill. The legend of Triambakeshwar says that Gautama Rishi and his wife Ahalya lived on the Brahmagri Hills. All the lands around it had a lot of famine, but in his ashram there was a lot of food grains. He got all those food grains because he had steadfast devotion and did daily prayers. The other rishis felt jealous of him and released a cow into his fields. Gautama tried to scare away the cow, but the cow died. For the sin of killing a cow, Gautama prayed and prayed to Lord Shiva to release Ganga and let her flow in the ashram to purify it. Pleased with his devotion, Lord Shiva released it and Ganga and told her to stay there. The sacred pond near the temple is the source of Godavari River, and the sage also asked Lord Shiva if he could make this site his home, and which Lord did in the form of Triambakeshwar Jyotirlinga.
Maha Dripashve Chatate Ramantam Sampujamanam Tatatam Muninde Sura Suraya Shamahoragade Kedaramisham Shivamekamide Kedaramisham Shivamekamide.
Kedarnath is situated at the Garhwal Himalayan range in the Uttarakhand, on the bank of the Mandakini River. After the battle of Kurukshetra, Pandavas was feeling guilty of killing their siblings, and they were on the lookout for Lord Shiva to ask him for his forgiveness. However, Lord Shiva eluded them by disguising himself as a bull to roam into the Garhwal Himalayas. When he was discovered by the Pandavas, he dived into the ground, and Bhima tried to catch him, but only got hold of the hump. It is the hump of the bull Nandi that is worshipped at Kedarnath. Do you know that Lord Shiva is also called Kedar? The statue of the celestial bull Nandi guards the entrance of the Kedarnath temple. It is believed that the Kedarnath temple was built by Pandavas, and the present temple was restored by Adi Shankaracharya in the 8th century AD.
Krishneshwarakyam Sharanam Prapatye Krishneshwarakyam Sharanam Prapatye.
Krishneshwara temple is located in Allura, Maharashtra. As legend has said, once Parvati is mixing vermilion and saffron in the palm of her hand to apply in the parting of her hair as a symbol of a married woman. She held the vermilion and saffron in her left palm and mixed it with the water of the Shivarate. She mixed both together with the thumb of her right hand. Just then, a miracle had happened. Shiva became the form of light in Parvati's hand. And as it was turned into a light, it became a Shivalingam and was named Krishneshwar. as it was made from the friction Krishna between Parvati's palm and finger. Krishneshwar means Lord of Compassion, and it is also the smallest Jyotirlinga temple in India.
Jyotirmaya Dwadashalinga Kanam Shivatmana Proktamidam Kramena Stotram Patitra Manujotibhatya Balam Tadalokya Nijam Bhajecha Balam Tadalokya Nijam Bhajecha.
Whoever chants the Dwadasha Jyotirlinga Stotram with full devotion will be worshipped by all. I bow down in worship of Lord Shiva, who is the grantor of desired results and who is the Lord of liberation. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Next, we present a dance on Shiva Tandav Stotra. It is a Sanskrit stotra that describes Shiva's power and beauty. It is believed that Ravana, who was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, composed this hymn in praise of Lord Shiva and pleading for moksha. Thanks for watching the cultural program. We will now begin the concluding prayers.
Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mokshiyam Ramritata Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Miramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Magaschit Dukkhabhat Bhavet Asatoma Satkamaya Tamasoma Jyotirkamaya Mrityorma Amritam Kamaya Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
We stand as one family, bound to each other with love and respect. We serve as an army, courageous and disciplined, ever ready to fight against all low tendencies and false values within and without us. We live honestly the noble life of sacrifice and service, producing more than what we consume and giving more than what we take. We seek the Lord's grace to keep us on the path of virtue, courage, and wisdom. May thy grace and blessing flow through us to the world around us. We believe that the service of our country is the service of the Lord of Lords, and devotion to the people is devotion to the Supreme Self. We know our responsibilities. Give us the ability and courage to fulfill them. Om Tat Sat.
Chinmaya Sadguru ki divya rupa murti karuna ki आरती सद्गुरु की चरणों में उनके शांति समाये शरणागत की भ्रांति मिटाए आपदाप संताप हरण की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की उपनिषद गीता को गाया धर्म सनातन फिर से लगाया नीति प्रीति शंकर की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की तपोभूमि में विचारी राजे गुरु हमारे भक्त हृदयानंद शोक की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।
ॐ न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति ॐ नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात् ॐ महादेव्यै च विद्महे विष्णुपत्नी च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मीः प्रचोदयात्।